So yeah, sorry, we were saying I'm not computer friendly as it is, but I do think there are certain things that I I think I've mentioned it before, but it's like in this day and age, like we do need computers for a lot of things that we want to do, and I think it's the job of people who make the programs that we need to design those programs to be actually like used by the people who need to use them. So like, there's no point having like an EKG that doctors can't read. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Where it's like they need to be able to see certain things. That's a bit of an extreme one, but like in Word you need to be able to type. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you need to be able to see what you're typing.
No, yeah, I get what you're saying, but I disagree. I assume most of the time it's user error. Or at least most of the time I've been doing stuff, because again, I haven't used Unreal.
Okay.
But most of the issues I had is just like, oh, that's me. For example, in Cubase you can turn off that bar that tells you tempo and everything.
Yeah.
Completely accidentally, which I did once. And it is not labelled useful bar. It is labelled something like VST connection output monitoring or some shit.
Yeah.
And you're just like, how the fuck am I meant to find this?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying by like poor implementation of program. Like for Logic, it's literally a big old bar at the top of the screen with an arrow that says, what do you want? Time, beats, all of that, and you can just customize it. It says, there you go. And if you need further customization, you can go into like the preferences and stuff like that. That's where I'm like, okay, that's good, because that's like, if you need specific things, you can go into like the preferences. If you just need to kind of like right now, I don't need to see beats or anything. I just need time, so I've just got it set on time. So it's just counting times. That's a particularly good version of it. I think Logic in general is quite well set out.
No, that is where the bias comes, the person bias.
Well, have you ever seen like older versions of Cubase and things like that?
Possibly.
Because I used to have teachers who just tell stories like that. They were like, "Oh, we fucking love the fact." They were like, "We don't particularly like Logic as a thing, but we do like that it exists, because before Logic, doors used to be just a fucking mess. Because everyone who made a door used to do it differently. So it used to just be like you'd go into one program and learn how to work it, and then literally every single button and everything that's like called something would be different. So you'd have no idea of doing anything. You'd have to learn it all over again. And then kind of Logic came along with the kind of look it's got now. Or maybe more of the Logic, like older Logic ones that I'm not too familiar with. But it came along with that kind of standard track look and stuff like that you see everywhere. And kind of basically it was so kind of user friendly that everyone started copying it, and it became like a standardized look. So they were like, oh, now, like, since Logic, like, everything kind of looks vaguely the same. The shortcuts are different, but they're different buttons, but they kind of do the same thing. So, like, you'll not know specifically how to do the kind of weird shit you want to do, but you'll roughly know, like, how to do it.
No, yeah, I do get that.
Yeah, so that's the thing, where it's like, with engines, there's... I don't know what the fuck's going on. That's all.
Again argue that you're saying like music programs in particular aren't doing as much.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
Like, I've now got to the point where when I edit the Genshin videos, I'm now mastering or putting compression and shit in the editing software.
Yeah, same. Oh,
As
that's another
opposed
one.
to
Like editing
Cubase.
softwares, they're all mostly like they have a standardized kind of look to them.
No, they don't.
The ones I've used do.
No, again, like you get most of them are the same, like Windows Movie Maker type layout,
Yeah.
and then you get stuff that's more powerful, I'd like to say, or made for something more than just editing. Like, for example, Blender or Resolve I use Resolve now because it's free.
I don't know what that is.
It's just a random editing software I found.
Right. Okay.
But it, as opposed to like a normal track or a normal thing, it has like different tabs along the bottom,
Right.
and you have to like switch between them to do different things.
Like
In all fairness, I think I prefer that layout now that I've used it a bit.
I don't think that's a like for like compare, because you're comparing like an editing software that does editing to a software that does editing and. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't compare Premiere to Blender, because it's like Blender does a shit.
No,
ton.
then do it to Resolve then.
Okay.
Resolve is more like After Effects layout.
I've never used After Effects. Sorry.
Yeah, After Effects is horrible to use.
I'm not entirely sure what After Effects does.
Take a guess.
Adds After Effects. Yeah, I get it. But, like, I don't have any reference for like what you'd make in that.
I assume like lightsabers and stuff.
Oh right. Okay.
You'd add the glow to lightsabers. It's really, really fucking good for like tracking, making audio spectrums and shit like that.
Oh okay.
It's basically they've split Premiere into.
Right.
Or,
Yeah. So
sorry,
it sounds
not
like it's
Premiere.
like basically an add-on. It's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like a plugin.
It's its own software, but it's just very different from what Premiere does.
Right. Okay.
So imagine like Resolve being Premiere and After Effects,
Right.
where you switch between the two to try and sort
Right.
stuff
No.
out.
Yeah. I get it. Which is like Blender is kind of like Maya and various painting softwares and editing softwares and animating
I literally
softwares.
have no idea how.
Blender does
do
like
anything.
8,000 different things. It's ridiculous. Like, how is this software? That is actually. Can we just talk about that? Like, how is that program free? Not only how is it free, but it's like it does so much.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you. I
That
don't
was a
even
poor
think
move.
there's a paid version.
No, right? It's just this absolute weapon of a software that's like it's the Swiss Army knife of like programs. It just does so fucking much.
But yeah, anyway, overall, my opinion is more it's user based as opposed to actual software.
Okay. I mean, but yeah, it might just be the types of programs. Because I find it hard to believe you've never used a program where you're like, this what it does is good, but like it's really difficult to make it do what it does.
No, like that's what I've been saying. Like every time I've had that, it's been I don't know how to do this.
You've never used a bad program then?
No,
Because
I said, I don't know how to do this. I'm fully aware that the software can do it,
Oh, right.
but I don't know how to do it. And then I learn how to do it, and you're just like, oh, okay, that's not as complicated as I thought it was.
Yeah, okay, it's the programs we use then. Because like, well, I've had that. I've learned how to do it, or it's something I know how to do, and even I'm looking at it going, this really needs to be a lot simpler. And there is no simpler way of doing it. This is just how you do it.
Are you sure there's no simpler way of doing it?
Yeah. Basically, with Sibelius, either you open the keypad and it's a lot of clicking, or you get yourself a number pad and it's a lot of clicking. So like all of the notes are mapped to like the number pad on keyboards.
Yeah.
So it's either you learn to like basically be an accountant with the key, like one hand on the number pad and one hand on the mouse, or you just use the mouse, and it's a lot slower. I mean, to be honest, it's slow either way. Like, how many people do you know who know how to do the clicky thing on the...
How to what?
How to quickly switch between number pads things. Like, how often do you even have a number pad on your keyboard?
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, I'm on a laptop, but like, how often do you actually use it?
Basically, whenever I have to type numbers. I'm right-handed.
Imagine that is like your selector.
Yeah, I'm right-handed.
Oh, well, that there's that as well. I mean, I didn't even take that into account, but like,
it's on the right side of the keyboard, so when I'm typing, it's easier for me to use those numbers as opposed to moving my hand all the way to the top bar.
Yeah, so with Sibelius, you can choose the note and the note value based on the... So, like, 3, I think, is 16th, or the other one, 32. No, I think it's 16th, 8th.
So,
yeah.
The shortcuts are really inconvenient, let's say.
Yeah, and that's the quick way of doing it. You're like, that's the quick way of doing it. And you're like, that's really inconvenient. Especially if you're left-handed.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, like, I wouldn't find that as inconvenient as you.
No, but you still find it inconvenient, which is why I'm saying it's like, that's just a bad program. Like,
no, again,
you have a shortcut.
I'd say there's a
and
learning curve.
Yeah, because your entire learning curve is like, learn how to work the number pad better.
No, you just need to learn what numbers do what.
Do you not see the problem with what you're saying there?
No.
You basically just said, okay, in order to write this, you need to go and learn how to do it a whole new thing.
Yeah, and like I said ages ago, I was saying, oh yeah, every game you have to learn new controls.
Yeah.
That is basically what I'm saying for this as well.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's a new software, new
No, what I'm saying...
that.
It's exactly what you're saying with... No, actually, I can't remember what game it was. It might have been Genshin. There was one of those things where you had to press 2 buttons at the same time where like you couldn't. Oh, it's the same side trigger. I can't attack.
Oh.
There we go. Do you know what I mean? Where you're pressing the left side stick and the right side stick and a right side button. So you have to do some weird kind of like controllery things.
Wait, what was that for?
I don't remember. I think it was for Genshin.
I remember there being a separate option.
It might have been for another, but you know what I mean. Like it's where you'd set if you know that. Yes, you have to learn the different controls, but there's a difference between learning controls and those controls being stupid.
No, yeah.
What I'm saying is like, yeah, of course you're gonna have to learn the controls. What I'm saying is like, those controls are not good. Like, why did you do that?
That's completely your opinion. Again, like, when it comes to Sibelius and shit, you could literally just get a keypad.
I wouldn't make it easier. I've used it with a keypad and it doesn't make it easier. Unless you spend all of your time like learning how to do this keypad thing.
Yeah, so learning the controls.
No. Not learning, mastering. That you have to get like really good at it to be anywhere near as quick as just clicking the stupid thing. Actually, no. The easiest way of inputting on Sibelius is to learn how to play the fucking piano. And then you just like you plug in a MIDI piano, and then it'll just record it for you and put it into score, and then you can like adjust it.
Okay.
So it's like, all right, that's your easiest option. Learn how to play the piano.